Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing well. I have some kingfish that I bought today. So this has been cut and cleaned and washed with lime juice. So I'm gonna season this if I want to make some curry or stew or some curry stew or even fried. I'm gonna season it for that. So what do we need for this? Our basic ingredient: green seasoning, shadow benny, black pepper, crushed garlic. I'm using 2 packets of sazon because I have a lot of fish here, and I have some chopped pimento and some salt. So of course you can also add some hot pepper to this here. So I'm gonna season up this and then I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. So if you have some seafood seasoning that you have, you can definitely add it to this, or you can add whatever season that you may like. But this is just to season this. When I'm ready to put it together in a curry or stew, then I'm gonna add fresh seasoning to this, like onion and garlic and stuff like that. So let's just season up this so it can marinate and soak, and then we'll move on to the next step. So there is my fish all seasoned up. I had to transfer it to a bigger bowl or basin. I'm using a pot because it's a lot. So I'm going to separate these out into bags and I'm going to put them away, and when I'm ready I'm going to use the amount that I want. So I'm going to allow this to marinate, and then when I'm ready to put it together I'm going to show you guys. So my fish is already seasoned, so I'm going to prep my flour now that I'm going to dip my fish in. So I'm just going to add a packet of sazon, some garlic powder, and some black pepper to this flour and give it a good mix. So for our next step, we're going to take the fish, dip it in the flour, make sure it's fully coated. So I'm going to keep repeating this step until all my fish is coated in the flour, and then we're going to move on to frying. So I'm just repeating the steps. So I'm just taking my fish now, putting it and setting it aside for a minute. So for my next step, we're going to put a pan up with oil to heat up, and then you're going to fry this on both sides until golden brown, and then we're going to remove it and drain it on a paper towel and let all that excess oil drain out. So once your fish is finished frying, this is what it should be looking like. So I'm going to continue repeating this step until I finish frying all my fish. And here I have my fish all finished frying. So now that my fish is finished frying, it's time to move on to the next step. And today I'm going to be making some curry stew. So I have some curry here in a bowl. And this is like about 2 tablespoons, and I have like about 2 tablespoons of sugar, brown sugar I'm using. So the next step is you have to prepare all the ingredients that you're going to add to this. So I have some green seasoning, some crushed garlic, I have some black pepper, I have some okras that I'm going to use coming to the ending of this video. I have a hot pepper, some pimento, some chopped onion, a piece of green mango, some thyme, and I have some seafood season mix here, and this is for like fish or shrimp and stuff like that. And we're gonna need some oil, and of course I'm gonna need a little bit of water to patch my curry. So let's get everything together, and we may need a bit of salt. So the first step is you're gonna put your pot up to heat up. You're gonna add your oil. Once your oil is heated, then I'm gonna add my sugar. Once it caramelizes, I'm gonna add my curry and then a little bit of water. So I'm gonna show you that. So in order to make curry stew, we have to make the sauce first and then put the fish to cook inside of the sauce. Otherwise your fish is gonna get mashed up and crumbly. So this is a really beautiful dish, really delicious. So I'm gonna show you the next step. So I just wanted to point out, if you have any leftover seasoning from when you did your fish, when you season your fish, do not throw it out, because you can use all the seasoning and all that water from here. When you make the gravy, you're gonna add it in there. So my oil is heated. I'm gonna go in first with my sugar. We're gonna allow this to cook and to melt and to caramelize, and it's gonna get like a golden brown color. And as I always say when working with sugar, be very careful because you can get burned very easily. So once the sugar comes to a bubble and starts caramelizing and getting brown, we're gonna add in the curry here. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of water, but be careful with that too, it can splash and burn you, so be careful. So my sugar has started melting. It's gonna start to bubble and get brown, more brown in color. I'm gonna show you what we're looking for. So you see that sugar is raising. It's gonna start getting brown. When all the sugar raises like that and bubbles, that's how you know your sugar is ready. So this is pretty much ready. I'm gonna go in with my curry, and I'm gonna add some water to this because I don't want it to burn. So I'm gonna add a little more liquid to this so this can all cook together and come together. So you're gonna cook this so all this liquid dries out and it becomes back dry and grainy. I'm going to show you that point next. So I'm going to continue cooking this for a bit. So you see all the liquid has dried out now. So to this I'm going to go in with my garlic. Remember I had my crushed garlic. I'm going to go in with my crushed garlic, my green seasoning. Going to give that a mix in there. So you guys remember that seasoning that was left back in your bowl? I'm going to add that in there. Let that cook up in there. So I just added all my chopped seasoning in there, my thyme, my hot pepper, my pimento, some of the seafood mix, some black pepper, my hot pepper, my chopped onions, and that green mango. So I'm going to allow everything to cook in there. Sorry, let all that seasoning cook down, and then I'm going to add some liquid in this to make sauce. So all the liquids that I add in there is drying up now, so I'm going to go in with water. So I'm going to add a little more to this. So you want to add enough water because you want all that mango and seasoning and onion and everything to cook together, because you want to form like a sauce. So it's going to cook together with everything, with all that seasoning. Once the water has reduced, then we're going to add in the fish. But before that, once it starts boiling, I'm going to add my okras. If you guys don't want to add it, it's totally fine because that's optional. It's not a must that you must add it. So if you want to leave out the okras, that's fine, but I had it and I just wanted to use it up, and it goes really well with this fish. So I hope you try it though. So I just added my okras to this. I'm gonna allow everything to cook up in there and for the sauce to reduce a bit. Then we're gonna taste for salt and for pepper and to see if it needs more seasoning. We're gonna add that before we add the fish. So my liquid has started to reduce down. I just tasted for salt and pepper and it's perfect. That mango in there is cooked. I don't want my okra very soft, so this is good. I'm gonna add the fish in there now, the fried fish, and I'm gonna let it cook together with this sauce. So there you have it. So this is not gonna cook for very long in there. This is gonna cook for like probably like a 5 minutes, just for that sauce to absorb into the fish. And of course you can leave how much gravy you want, but I don't like a lot of gravy. So this is almost finished. I'm gonna dish this out in a little bit and you guys are gonna see how beautiful it turned out. So remember, once you add your fish, it's just like about 5 minutes. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is the amount of gravy that I'm going to leave, because once it starts getting cool, it's going to dry up even more. So I'm going to dish this out, and you guys are going to see how beautiful it looks. And thank you, and hope you guys try this one.